Hey, everybody, welcome to the show. I'm Kelly, and right here, that is my Arnold Schwarzenegger to my Danny DeVito. That's my twinsy right there. Obama Le Feichuan.
I wish I knew something from Twins, like a reference to that movie that I could have made right there. But not like we planned this, and I knew you were going to say that.
Not at all.
So.
Well, hey, everybody, welcome to the show. On tonight's show, we have a very awesome new segment we're doing.
Yeah, I'm excited about this. Going to be really cool. We're going to get to that in a second with the breaking news, Kelly. Very, very cool stuff. Can't wait to share that with the crew. Anything else going on in life these days? Are we getting back close to the mountain?
I'm feeling it.
I am too. I know that the 8th is what's going on, and I heard I've been talking with construction crews on where we are in the queue for the new building, for the new attraction. Pretty excited about that. So we're looking at maybe by June 1st, we'll have everything in the works, and we'll be decorating it. So awesome.
So
where are we going now?
We're going to breaking news.
Let's do this.
Yeah.
Right now. Let me tell you, brother, I've been looking at the breaking news, and it's really good. Eat your vitamins.
We're back! Oh, boy. Hey, Michael's there with us. Look at it.
Wow, look at that.
Along for the ride.
Hey.
He's got some dude with blood on over his shoulder. That's pretty.
Hey, that's one of the shots from last year. The girl is actually one of my good friends from college. They came through just in time while I was taking photos, and my friend Amanda had no idea what she was walking into, and I took full advantage of it. So
I love to use the power tools. That's great.
Oh, yeah. Come on, man.
So let's jump into some breaking news here. Michael, you got something really cool that you totally surprised us with today, and I see this as becoming a weekly segment of the show. Awesome. Tell everybody what's going on, Michael.
Well, the lovely Jen Marino and I, we were sitting down, coming together, watching a lot of the shows that, we're all part of here with you guys on your show. And we thought, one of the things that Jen and I really love to do is just reminisce full-fledged about, how Reapers came to be Reapers, you know what I mean? And, we really operate up there as a family. There's a solid 15 of us that are up there throughout the summer being part of the creative and the build process, aside just from the other part of the family that's part of the marketing, part of all the other different things that happens up there. And there's just so many stories, and we get asked, like, how we come up with these ideas. And, we offer the behind-the-scenes tour, which is awesome. But the behind-the-scenes tour, you get to touch and feel and see how we built everything. We decided to talk about, what it takes to build it, and, what were the funny things that happened behind the scenes, some of the stories, where the ideas came from. And then, there's also a little bit of footage in there that a lot of people haven't seen of the building process and, the construction process, And we thought, Jen and I would love to be part of the show, on Fridays, and, bringing in people like Andy who do our pyrotechnics. We just thought it would be a great thing for, the real diehard fans of Reapers to learn a little bit more as to how it came to be what it is now.
Easter eggs.
Come from where we have. No, I agree, Michael. And I was talking with Mike Hefner, one of the owners, as well as our director of facilities, and Michael and Andy blow stuff up all the time. And Michael, I'm sorry, I call you Michael. Mike Hefner has said he wants to be on the show and wants to blow some stuff up and say, hey, look at what Andy and I are blowing up this week.
Expect the unexpected.
We're already working on that for next week. But, hey, guys,
good show.
Let's get into this. Let's see what Mike and Jen came up with.
Woo!
What's up, everybody? Michael Bellardi here with Reaper's Revenge, bringing you a brand new segment for the Todd and Kelly Show with the beloved queen of Reaper's Revenge, Jen Marino. Hey, Jen.
Hi.
Jen. I really wish, I'm going to get a recording and put that in of the Jen chant and that's how we're going to intro you every episode from here on out.
We need it at the bottom of the screen with the bouncy ball.
Yeah.
And of course, as most of you guys know, Jen's other half, Kelly, who is also one of the hosts of the show that this is featured in, is also joining with us today as well to talk a little bit about our new segment called Reaper's Revenge Recalled. What are we talking about today? What have we been hearing? What has been the most requested thing to talk about on this first episode?
Well, I thought we should go with Alice in Wonderland. People talk about it all the time. They ask us why, where did this come from? So let's maybe give you a little bit of that backstory.
That sounds good. I mean, Alice is established what year? 2018?
Yeah, at Reaper's Revenge. Yes.
So, I mean, we were all kind of part of that. Alice in Wonderland was this brand new thing, and from what I remember personally was that it was one hell of like a testing theory.
Yeah, no, I think so. I mean, honestly, if you want to go real far back, I was thinking about it today. I think the first time Alice was ever pitched, it was by one of our makeup artists. It was probably like 2014, 2015. And then I got to say, I think I wrote it down. It was, the summer of 2018. Well, I guess it would be spring. We had yet another creative meeting. I think this one was at our house. We were all here, and another one of our makeup artists, different one this time, Amy, she brought it up. She said, we should do Alice in Wonderland. I think that would be really cool. And, the entire room, you were there, Michael, like we sighed. And,
I remember the room went silent for about a solid 30 seconds. And Travis going, yeah, good luck selling Paul on that. And then you said, okay, we'll bring up Alice again. 3 years later, here we are discussing, something that was discussed in 2014. Well, I won't say it was discussed in 2014. It was hinted upon in 2014.
Yeah. I think the next creative meeting that came after that, I think everybody that was in the room when we discussed it the first time, we're all on the same page, and we came with ammunition to show the boss that this could be something else.
I think we were all shocked when, Paul read the pitch, and he's like, oh, okay, fine. And simple as that. Normally at Reaper's Revenge, here's a little behind the scenes tip. We fight about things for hours, days, months,
weeks.
Beating dead horses.
Years.
Yeah. We really sent him around the ringer. But yeah, Amy was the one to do it, and thank goodness, because like a whole lot of fun later, we're doing it.
Of what this is probably one of the scenes that I had a truly clear vision of how to execute it before we ever stepped into it. Paul, in true Paul fashion, made it even more grand by adding the tunnel at the beginning. That was, first of all, it was never supposed to be that much real estate. But when we started walking it, he was like, let's do it. Let's make it bigger. If you break it down, and this is some inside information, it's 2.5 minutes, 500 feet, 4 scenes within one scene, doing the entire story of Alice in Wonderland.
Exactly. Exactly. I mean, like, the quintessential thing about Alice was that it's the biggest, in my opinion, it's the longest scene on the entire hayride. And what had happened was, the hayride, 2017, and from inception on, we had the staple, the hillbilly scene there. We moved Michael Myers there over time. And then, we even had the spider scene existed, but that whole corner, that whole portion of the hayride was just constantly under development. But it was also the only portion of our entire show where you actually had some quiet, some peace and quiet. It was the more eerie part of the woods that we kind of, for 3 or 4 years, we kind of played with the idea of, how do we make it scarier, and then coming to terms with the hayride being also as scary as it can be, but also entertaining and and shocking and creating awe. And I think that's where Alice kind of entered.
For all the people that are out there that do not like Alice because it's not scary, listen, I didn't like Thriller either. We scare people at Reaper's Revenge, but at the end, like it's shock and awe. It's a beautiful scene to drive through and look at.
Yeah, no, I'm really glad you brought that fact up. So I think Alice in Wonderland was one of our first attempts to actually give you, as a customer, I should say, give the customer that true immersive theater-like almost feel. I think that's really what the one point we were all able to get behind as far as Alice goes. If we're going to do this, we're going to do it big. We're going to make it feel like you're really in Wonderland and immerse you from there. We had talked about how it was supposed to be a short scene to begin with. I think we had expected 100 feet of trail. We ended up with 500 feet, over 500 feet of trail to work with. Now, here's the kicker. We took this 500-foot length. Not only did we do that, but we went vertical with it. We have, thousands, probably miles worth of Christmas lights and electrical cord to take that scene and really make you feel from top to bottom.
This to me was, all in all, Alice was just a complete experiment across the board of all the different things that we were doing. And that was what was so impressive to me, because, like you said, Kelly, we went from a couple hundred feet to 500 feet. And one of the things that was always a staple for that was we wanted to do more with the video. We wanted to do more with projection, laser, lights, and we always wanted to experiment with that scene because it was such a big, fresh piece of land for us to work with. So then enter in the idea.
Yeah, the budget never changed. Budget never changed from 100 feet to 500 either, though.
No, the budget never changed. It was hilarious. Because next thing you know, we found a custom mesh material to create what was called the rabbit hole. And this thing is 100 feet. It takes about 3 hours for us to put it up every year, because I help Paul do it every year with the lift. And the square knot, the legend of the square knot. I learned how to tie square knots because of this ensemble, this monstrosity that creates this very, very vivid rabbit hole effect, topped on with soundtracks of Alice in Wonderland. This is ridiculous.
It's the start of the mystical experience.
Yeah, no, honestly, I think when we originally pitched the idea of doing a rabbit hole, we probably got cross-eyed looks from them. Well, how are you going to do that? And I said, maybe we could put up a couple screens and make it feel like a tunnel. And we ended up getting this completely custom piece that every year you guys are just, you, Andy, all the guys are just, moving forward with the lasers and the projection. And I think we're like one step closer to 3D mapping at this point, which is where we all really want to be with it, I think.
Wink, 2020, maybe.
Maybe, future.
It is something that, I have been experimenting. I know Todd wants to experiment with it. I don't know if we're at a point where we're ready to full-fledged incorporate it into the show, but, for our 2020 viewers and 2021 viewers that are really intrigued as to what's going to happen, keep your eye out. We might be messing around with some projection mapping. But
either way, it's getting better every year. You guys are really doing a great job with it. Yeah.
So we have the tunnel, or the rabbit hole as we call it, and let's get into the character breakdown. Where this thing came from, because in 2018 we had an attraction that we called Alice, but no Alice.
It was a high concept. It was a high concept by our right-hand gal in the walkthrough, Alicia Cohut.
Yeah, we wanted the customer to feel as if they are Alice entering Wonderland. And meeting all the classic friends. There's Tweedle, D, and I don't think we can see his brother's head. He's got Tweedledum's head severed, of course.
Also known as Tweedlebox.
Tweedlebox, we like to call him. But the customers didn't quite get that they were supposed to be Alice, which, led us to 2019 introducing Alice to Alice in Wonderland, and that really helped convey. I was a little surprised that people still didn't understand they were in Alice in Wonderland with things like the March Hare there and the Mad Hatter and a giant Red Queen. Nevertheless, they were a little confused, some of them, so we have added Alice, and that has worked well. I don't think I had any questions in 2019 about what the heck that scene was supposed to be, so that's a win.
No. Then we moved on to this. 2019, the birth of an actual Alice character. And tell me about this, because this thing, so many people have asked me, and even when I would sneak out in the woods to shoot these photos and these videos, you hear people say, "What's that on her head?" It's a bird cage. You know what I mean? It just this whole thing just blew my mind, because if I'm not mistaken, this was a makeup team / prop combination here.
This was our makeup team. I don't know which one of them. I love the makeup girls.
There it is.
They are the reason. There she is. They are the reason Alice in Wonderland has happened. This year, I think one of the classic lines and scenes from Alice in Wonderland is where she drinks the drink and eats the cookie that makes her too big, too small, and she starts not fit in the house. So we got this awesome vintage bird cage, and the makeup team said, "Hey, wouldn't it be cool if our Alice grew so large that she got stuck in the bird cage and had to rip her way out?" Nevertheless, they brought me the bird cage and a wig and said, "Here you go." I said, wait a second, guys. This is supposed to be your idea. What do we do? And they're like, "Well, we thought it would be cool if you made it look like her hair was stuck in the cage, and when we ripped it out, when she ripped herself out, she was all gory and gross because she had to rip her hair off." Yeah. Is where the gag started, and then we ended up, instead of going bloody, we decided to go with gangrene.
For me, writing the scene and doing the timing, this was a new hurdle for me. Not only the cage, but adding Alice into a scene that was already developed to get through in a certain amount of time with all the bells and whistles we already had going on.
Our wonderful actresses pulled it off, though. You have to pretend.
Speaking of wonderful actresses, I actually have some footage here of our 2020 actress, Ashley Bond, who is aspiring. She's a real aspiring actress. You know what I mean? She's really making a push at this outside of Reaper's Revenge, which is fantastic. And I mean, so this year I had the pleasure. You guys will see. We incorporated a snow machine, which is a story all within itself. But this is one of my favorite shots that I captured last year with a team of other people that I work with out there. And I mean, just this. I mean, the entire effect of just snow falling like that is just absolutely ridiculous. So, 2019, we introduced the Alice character, the bird cage. We introduced the snow making machine, which is kind of a newer technology to be used. I mean, this whole scene just blew my mind. You can see in the background, this actor is actually on the wagon with a wireless headset to increase sound.
Yep.
And that was a whole other expansion of the scene within itself. And just this to me, this was our most expansive scene on the hayride for 2020, aside from the pallet tunnel, which we plan on talking about sometime in this show's course.
All the mushrooms and the plywood cutouts, originally in my mind, to stick to the budget we couldn't change, I wanted to do it like an old-timey shooting gallery or It's a Small World, and just do like the cutouts and just create depth with two-dimensional objects. So.
And it worked. I that summer I got to learn how to use a jigsaw really well, actually. I became not only a costume designer, but an artist and a carpenter. It was great. Yeah.
So here's a good question. I kind of want to wrap up because the story of Alice is such an awesome story, and we have so many good things to see from it, and it's really grasped the attention of our audience. And like we said, there are some people who dislike it, and there are a lot of people who love it, or at least are just completely mesmerized by it. Where do you think we're going to take?
Yeah.
Where do you think we're going to take, Alice over the course of the next couple of years? I mean, we already hinted the idea of maybe doing some projection mapping.
I don't think we're done yet.
No.
I don't have any definites, but I don't think we're done yet. And knowing us, we're going to go bigger and better and louder.
And scarier.
Yeah.
Love it. I love it. So, guys, we're kind of going to wrap up here with this episode or this segment of Reaper's Revenge Recalled. And if you guys have any comments or any ideas of things that you want to know more about on the side of Reaper's Revenge, just comment below here on the video on Facebook and let us know. Jen and I are going to be taking ideas and running things, and we're going to be interviewing some people. We're going to want to interview Paul and a number of other people. Our pyrotechnics maniac Andy is also going to join us, so we could talk a little bit more about some of the other historical features at Reaper's Revenge. So comment below for any of the things you guys really want to know more about. And until then, we'll see you guys next Friday. Back to you guys in the studio, Todd and Kelly.
I'll see you over on the next one.
Episode 9 down the hatch. There it was, everybody.
Complete it is.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun doing that segment. We honestly, Jen, Michael, and I could have talked for another hour simply just on Alice in Wonderland. It's a phenomenal scene and a huge chunk of woods, and it was a lot of fun to do, and we got a limited amount of time here.
Yeah. Well, I think it's cool, though, that, having the throwback aspect of often all of us are so caught up in our next great thing that we're doing, and we don't really reflect on all that we've accomplished, this being the 12th years of Reaper's Revenge. It's amazing what we've all done in the 12 years we've been haunting. And I love the idea of this new episode, or this new segment that's going to be in the episodes. It's definitely going to be a weekly figment of I was going to say figment of my imagination, but it's
no,
not.
it's for real.
It's for real. All right, brother.
Yep.
Then let's get on out of here. I think you should stay home,
be safe,
and
save Halloween.
I'm telling you, save Halloween. I want you to eat all your pumpkin seeds. I want you to get them pumpkins. I want you to put your head in that pumpkin. Let's do this.
You still here? It's over. Go home. Go. And get off my lawn.